Welcome to the stock workout where we flex on the market to make gains. In this video, we're going to be talking about Zomedica and going through why it has run up from the price that it has at around 45 all the way up to a high of 291. Now initially, this price increase from the 45-cent range all the way up to the $1.46 range would have been due to the news that their platform Trueformer was going to come to the market on March the 30th. Since then, we saw that rapid increase, we saw the price come back down, and we saw it settle around the 90 to $1 range. For the last 2 weeks or so, we've seen it consolidate around this range until this breakout here. In my previous video, I covered how this was a bullish signal and it was in bullish territory, and the price was going to edge higher as March 30th came closer and the Trueformer platform was due to be released. However, since it hit around this $1.10 range, the price exploded and went all the way up to 291 within the space of 3 trading sessions. Now, we're going to talk about the reasoning behind this and what I did myself personally. Initially, I thought this rise would have been due to the fact that March the 30th was coming closer and more investors were taking interest in Zomedica. However, when you see a price rise more than 100% within a few trading sessions, you need to question what's the reasoning. Zomedica hadn't released any new news, they hadn't released any information about what was going on, so this is not sustainable. This rise in price, it's gone up by over double, and I just thought it wasn't sustainable. So I actually sold my shares, 95% of my shares I sold at this point here, 277. Once I noticed there had been a trend reversal, I sold my shares. Zomedica hadn't released any news, and I knew that this stock rising that fast, it couldn't be sustainable and there was going to be a pullback. Now, one of the reasons why I sold my shares was that the valuation for Zomedica at this point was past $2 billion. Now, for a company whose product is yet to come on the market, in this case, and for it to be priced at $2 billion, I thought that was very, very expensive. Now, I bought my stock way down here, so I had earned over 120% on my shares. I was happy to take my profits and exit the trade because it is very expensive at this point and the company is yet to release their product. Now, with this sharp rise being taken into consideration as well, and the company not releasing any news, I knew this wasn't sustainable. And immediately in the after hours, we saw the price come down, and now on the 9th of Feb, we've seen the price, we've seen it bounce off 215, which is a good indicator. So yeah, it bounced off 215, which is a good indicator, and it came up to 235. Now, one of the reasons that caused this drop, we're going to talk about the reason that caused the drop, but before that I want to talk about what caused the rise. Zomedica hadn't released any news. An article came out stating that Wall Street Bets had been talking about pumping this stock and sort of pushing it higher and higher, and that's exactly what happened. So we had a lot of day traders pushing money into this stock, which pushed the price up higher and higher, and eventually it will come down. It is not sustainable for it to rise over 100% in 3 trading sessions without a correction taking place. So when it started coming down in the after hours, Zomedica released in a statement saying that they intend to do a share offering of $25 million worth of shares. So that's initially what happened, and we saw the price sit around here at around 250, and then they upped that share offering 9-fold to around 170 million. So that diluted the existing shareholders massively, which is why we saw the stock drop further and bounce off this 215 mark. Now, some investors will still have sentiment towards this stock and still believe in the Trueformer platform. I do believe in the Trueformer platform, but I also think that this stock is very overvalued currently. So that was the reason why I sold at 277, because I knew there was a trend reversal. It couldn't carry on rising. I was already up over 120% on my shares, and we've seen the stock offering happen and the share price come all the way down to here around. It went to a low of 210ish, and we've seen it bounce up to 235 post market. So everybody should be careful, because when there are people or speculative traders pumping a stock, you will always see a drop come at some point. It can't keep going up forever. It's not sustainable. So that's what happened, and now we're going to take a look at a couple of articles that just highlight this. If we take a look at this article on MarketWatch, we can see that Zomedica stock tumbles on heavy volume after public stock offering upsized sevenfold due to demand. So it was sevenfold. I might have said ninefold earlier, but it was around that. So shares of Zomedica tumbled 17% in pre-market trading Tuesday after the health company's common stock offering that was upsized by nearly sevenfold, priced at a deep discount. Trading volume of 40.1 million shares made Zomedica stock the most actively traded ahead of the open. Now that was due to the pump that was coming from Wall Street bets. So if we carry on reading, it says the company said overnight that the sole book running manager for the offering, H.C. Wainwright and Co., agreed to increase the size of the public offering due to demand. Now this bit that says due to demand, the demand was from retail investors, aka Wall Street bets. Now I don't believe that that is sustainable. So it increased the size of the offering to 91 million shares at a price of 190, which is a significant discount compared to what price the stock closed at, and it raised $173.5 million. Now that is a large increase compared to the 25 that they initially said. The offering represented 16.2% of the 564 million shares outstanding. So they have diluted shareholders by offering 16% more shares. So they've put 16% more shares into the market. Existing shareholders are quite significantly diluted. So then further down it says, originally late Monday, Zomedica had announced an offering of 13.16 million shares to raise 25 million. So they increased their stock offering by sevenfold due to demand. Now this demand was due to retail investors. So I was a little bit skeptical on what was going to happen next. I was up 120% on my stocks. I knew there was going to be a pullback, but I didn't know how significant. It could have come further down here and hit the 61.8% Fibonacci. It could have come up. So if it did that and it came down to 168, I wouldn't have made as much as I did. So I took profits here, took about 90 to 95% out. I left 5-10% in just to see what happens next. If I see another increase in the price and it breaks the $3 mark, I might sell all my shares again, because it puts you in an uncertain territory. There's a lot of uncertainty around what is going to happen next with this stock. As you can see, its valuation is at $1.9 billion currently. When it was up here, it was over $2 billion. I don't think that that is correct, and it shouldn't be $2 billion for a company like this. Yes, the Trueformer platform is brilliant and it is game changing, but it's been pumped up too quick, too fast. So there will be a sell-off and nobody knows what's going to happen next. So anyway, personally, I did sell up here. I took my profits and I want to move to the next stock. So I thought I'd just give you all an update on it. So from this Fibonacci, we can see that it came down to the 38% mark. It bounced off $2.15 and it's currently consolidating at around this 235, 230-ish $2.30ish area. We may see another run from this. We may see it run up again once the stock offering has closed, in which case for those that are holding, good luck. Or we may see that retail investors from Wall Street Bets pull out their money, and we may see this come crashing back down. It is highly risky currently, so everybody set your stop losses and watch this stock carefully in the coming days. If you appreciate that, subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you more content and more stocks. Hit like if you appreciate the video as well, and I'll see you on the next one.